And welcome back, y'all. So peep the box, and if you know, you know. This is what we're taking a look at today. But you do get the J-3 on the front of the box right here, and like this metallic kind of feel and look. You do get the lightning over the box. You do get all black over, of course. You do get different meanings on this box as well, which I am gonna put up so you guys can understand what they mean if you don't know. But label does read J-3 SE Grade School. Colorway is Photon Dust Black. And I did have to go with a size 6.5 for this particular pair. So opening up the box, we do get all white underneath. Lot number right there. Do get my receipt paper right here, y'all. Do get this white paper. And this particular shoe right here, y'all, man. Yeah, this is one of them ones, yeah. As far as for me personally, I like the colorway, and these do come with this Ja sticker right here, which basically spells out Ja with the swoosh in the form of a J, of course, not the normal where you get like the picture and whatnot. But we do have the Nike J-3 SE Outer Space. Man, this colorway is tough, y'all. And it's just a simple colorway, but it's a dope colorway to me, in my opinion. I actually like these a lot. You feel me? Like, and there's a lot we gonna get into as far as materials and things like that, y'all. But let me give y'all a little bit of history. So this particular colorway is celebrating Ja Morant's high playing lifestyle on the court, things like that. Now, this particular colorway is catering to the youth, and it basically reaches into outer space, basically inspiring the youth to reach for the stars, fly high, and reach their full potential in whatever it is that they want to do, which in my opinion, I think is a very strong message to the youth, because Ja Morant does have a lot of young athletes that do look up to him, or just young generation in general. So that's definitely a dope aspect to this particular shoe, and even reaching more so into outer space. Yeah, it's a lot of detailing on this shoe, which y'all gonna get to see in a few. But with that being said, y'all, it's time to go ahead and break these bad boys down. So yeah, I have the right shoe, which definitely has similar features like the left shoe. But of course, let's start off by looking at the top portion, which contains this lightweight mesh, which is basically inspired by the actual astronaut suit, of course. As you guys can see, for the most part, it does come in this light gray. And then you do get these overlaid TPU Ja logos throughout the entire top portion, of course, as you can see, which act as a durable and support system for the top portion, as you guys can see. And it almost looks like, a claw like material, of course, as you can see that for the most part. Now, if you take a look at the base of the shoe, you basically can see it spells out Ja with the swoosh right here, which is a rubber swoosh, black on the inside, red on the outside, and it's in the form of a J. And then you do have the TPU overlay logos, which act together to form an A. And of course, it does extend into the midsole with that claw-like look in blue, as you guys can see. Yeah. And then on the lateral medial side, you do get a blue swoosh, as you guys can see for the most part, which intersects in with the TPU overlay logos, of course. Now, going into the tongue area, yeah, we do get an all red tongue. Now, on the bottom half, you do get the 1MT, which is in dark blue. And then on the middle portion, yeah, you do get that breathable mesh, of course, as y'all can see. And then on the top portion, this is more of that synthetic material, as y'all can see. And then if you take a look at the logo on the tongue, it basically says Ja, but it is basically in a planetary rotation. So let me bring it a bit closer so y'all can see for the most part. And then you do get these photon dust laces, of course, and also the eyelets are done in that photon dust colorway as well, as you guys can see for the most part. Now let's get into the interior. So yeah, you do get this all over light gray sock liner, of course, right here. You do get it on the back of the tongue as well. Now, on this particular pair, yeah, it is different from the right pair because, and I'm gonna put a little bit of flash if you can't see it, but it does have the Galaxy seamed insole in here, and this is just a regular insole, so you can swap it out for whatever kind of insole you want. But it is a Galaxy themed insole with my shoe paper, and then you do have the manufacturing date in there as well. And I'm gonna put some flash in there so y'all can see it. But once again, taking on that space theme right there, as you guys can see for the most part. And then if you take a look on the heel, you do get this embroidered 12 right here, which is done in this dark blue colorway, of course, which is standard for the J-3s, of course. And then when you take it to the midsole, you do get this all over midsole with these Ja logos, of course, as you guys can see for the most part. You know what I mean? And this is actually a hybrid Zoom X midsole. Now, it's definitely different from a model like the Nike Vomero Plus, which is actually full length zoom. I'm not sure why they went with hybrid zoom, but of course, this is all caged in a rubber cup sole to enhance stability, which I definitely feel is needed for a shoe like this, of course. You do got some cushioning behind the Zoom X as well, if you guys didn't know. And then on the outsole, you do get this grippy traction outsole with a bunch of jaw logos. And of course, that phrase, which says a happy jaw is a scary jaw. Sorry about that, jaw. And it does have the number 1 in red. Now, pretty much the same as the right shoe, y'all. Only difference is with the jaw, the way it's spelled out. Of course, it is not centered like the right pair. The A is more closer to the end of the shoe, as you guys can see for the most part. But the difference on this pair is instead of a red tongue, it comes with a blue tongue. On the bottom half, you do get that 1MT in white. Of course, you do still get the planetary rotation logo on the front, and this is a graphic printed logo for those if you didn't know, but does come in blue, of course. Then if you take a look at the medial side, the right pair, it is blue. On this pair, it is red. Once again, interjecting with those overlay jaw logos, of course. And then if you take a look at the heel, you do get that white 12 right there, as you guys can see. Everything pretty much the same from the sock liner and the back of the tongue, but another major difference is on the insole. So while the right pair features the Galaxy on the insole, the left pair features the lunar moon surface. So that's actually dope. You know what I mean? Once again, actually taking that space theme and putting it onto a silhouette like this, in my opinion, which is definitely dope, yeah. And I'm gonna give y'all some flash if y'all can't see it well enough. I'm gonna put some flash there, so don't worry about that. But once again, midsole is the same thing. And then if you take a look at the outsole is a bit different because it does says I'm not even worried about proving them wrong, of course, with the 2 on the outsole in red, and then it is around this black rubber right here. Once again, see, if you put the 2 shoes together, yeah, it basically spells out Ja Morant's number, which is number 12, of course, for the most part. But those are the key details for the Nike Ja 3 Outer Space. Now it's time to get back in front of the camera and let y'all know my thoughts and opinions. Alright, y'all. So feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions on these after taking that close up look, man. Like me personally, I love the colorway. I rock with them, and also the inspiration behind this particular pair. Just Ja Morant catering to the youth, and just wanting to inspire the youth. But other than that, man, like this particular colorway, I like a lot, and just even down to the details from the insoles to the tongues to the overall, logos throughout the entire sneaker. Like, yeah, these are fire, man. And I do plan on grabbing more and more colorways soon. But feel free to let me know how y'all feel about this particular colorway, man. Once again, like I mentioned, I know that it wasn't a all around size and shoe, which only was catered to the youth. But yeah, it was a dope aspect that he did, and I actually like these a lot. So I'm glad that I was able to obtain a pair of the Nike J 3 Outer Space, man. This colorway is definitely tough, y'all. And I will be collecting these joints like Infinity Stones, y'all. So feel free to let me know y'all initial thoughts and opinions on these, and expect to see more in the collection real soon. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that big like button, y'all. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. It is greatly appreciated. You don't want to miss out because I got more bangers on the way. So make sure you are staying tuned. With that being said, you got your boy J-Jus. You got my thoughts and opinions and review on the Nike J 3 SE Outer Space Kids exclusive. Man, I like this colorway a lot. I like this colorway a lot, child. But with that being said, I love and I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, reach for the stars. Sky's the limit. And we out.